Hey guys, what's up? Bevan here, and I want to talk about why you might not be getting the results you want with meditation, and also I want to talk about 2 ways to get more benefits from meditation without actually increasing the amount of time that you meditate, although that probably won't hurt. So there are actually a lot of reasons why you might not be getting the results you want from meditation. One of them might be your mindset with regards to your practice, it might be your environment, and it might be other factors. I talked about one of those in my video on the Red Bull Society, basically about how our culture of distraction that we live in makes it very hard to achieve the state of presence, generally speaking. But in this video, the idea I want to put forth is that the benefits you get from meditation are directly proportional to the effort and persistence you put into your practice. Now that might sound really obvious, you get out what you put in, but I think this is a very important distinction because in our society, even amongst people who meditate regularly, there's this idea that meditation is more about being than doing. And when beginners hear that, they can kind of think that they don't really have to put much effort in. They just simply sit there and they don't do anything for 20 minutes or whatever, and they'll get something from that. And that's actually a very pervasive belief. And I think it's not a very resourceful one, because when you have that mindset with regards to meditation, you're just not going to put in the effort required to really change your brain to be able to focus better, to be able to concentrate better, from which you can then see benefits from meditation. So I think a good analogy for meditation is working out, hitting the gym or doing whatever sport you like to do and getting better at that sport. It's very similar for meditation. It works in a very similar way in that you have to stress yourself, you have to push yourself beyond your comfort zone a little bit so that your body can compensate, in this case your mind can compensate and build back stronger. And if you're not convinced by that analogy, consider how we learn most efficiently. Studies have shown that the best way to memorize new information is through something called effortful retrieval practice, which is basically when you quiz yourself when it's difficult to recall the facts that you're trying to memorize. So you read the text once and you quiz yourself at a point where you really have to struggle to remember those facts. If you try to remember them too early, it's not going to be beneficial to you. You're just going to forget them, shortly thereafter. But if you try to recall those facts when it's very hard to bring them up to the surface, you're going to create very durable memories. And this applies to any skill we'd like to learn as well. So if we want to learn a new instrument, or we want to learn how to rock climb, or learn a new lift at the gym, the best way to internalize that skill is through focused, effortful repetitions. You don't want to be lazily doing sloppy repetitions. That's just not the way to do it. And meditation is just like one of those skills. In fact, meditation, when you're just starting out, it's just a concentration game. It's just putting your awareness on those sensations of breathing and returning your awareness to those sensations when you inevitably fall off, and doing so in a non-judgmental way. So how do we use this idea to get more out of our meditation sessions? One exercise you can do is to focus on starting strong and ending strong in your meditation practice. So when you sit down for a meditation session, especially if it's at the end of a long day, a long busy day, it's going to be kind of hard to bridge that gap between the mind-identified state and the state of presence that you're trying to achieve through meditation. And bridging that gap can be kind of difficult, and we tend to kind of resist it and maybe not try so hard when we first sit down to meditate. But a great way to get more out of your sessions is to just tackle that transition aggressively, as I talked about in my last video on tackling state transitions. This requires a bit of an upfront willpower investment to kind of jump into it, like you're jumping into a cold body of water. But overall, you're going to struggle less with it because overall you're going to be resisting that state transition less, and you're going to get into the state of presence a lot quicker, and you'll just see a lot more from your meditation session in the same amount of time. Also, there can be a tendency to kind of slack off towards the end of your session, especially if you've been meditating for a while and you kind of get a feeling for when your timer is about to go off. Well, push that thought of the timer out of your mind just as you push out any other thought, and just return to your breath and try to finish strong. Another thing you can do to get more out of your meditation sessions is to make your sessions more dynamic. I talk about dynamic meditation on this channel, and that's basically when you keep your eyes open during a meditation session to make it a little bit more difficult to be aware of the breath at the same time. So you can actually move your eyes around and stuff, look around the room, and all the while try to stay on the sensations of breathing. And this will train you to be able to enter the state of presence as you do more dynamic things, not only when you're sitting, in silence in your meditation room or whatever. And if you start doing dynamic meditation, that's actually a great stepping stone towards continual breath awareness, which is the whole reason I started this channel. And that's the practice of keeping your awareness on the sensations of breathing throughout the day as you do other things. And you can actually sustain that through most, if not the entire day. This is great because it means you're basically constantly withdrawing identification from your mind, which means that you're more aware of these spontaneous thoughts that do enter your mind and what you normally identify with, and it basically gives you freedom from your conditioned responses and a huge amount of other benefits, and that's pretty much what I talk about on this channel, so check out the other videos on that if you're interested. But the idea of the second exercise here is just to make your meditation sessions a little bit more effortful by making them more dynamic. You'll basically be able to enter the state of presence more reliably and in different circumstances without necessarily increasing the amount of formal meditation time that you're doing. But that's it for now. I really hope you incorporate this general idea of making your meditation sessions effortful. Treat it like a workout. Really tackle them somewhat aggressively. I know that sounds counter to the whole idea of meditation and just being blissed out and not doing anything, but especially if you're just starting out, it's going to require a little bit of elbow grease to get into it, but it's worth it. If you have this mentality, you're going to see a lot from your meditation workouts. It's going to be great. So try it out, and thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you next time.